How to save mustard greens from seed. To harvest mustard green seeds, you need to allow your mustard greens to bolt. As you can see here, we have some severely bolted mustard greens. One of the ways is if you plant your mustard greens earlier in the season. If they have a consecutive series of nights where the temperatures go below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, then they are more likely to bolt earlier in the season. Another way is that they'll just naturally bolt once the temperature rises. Also, if a stressor such as disease and pests afflict your plant, they will immediately go into emergency reproduction mode and bolt as soon as possible. You want to stop harvesting your mustard green leaves from a bolted plant, as the energy is going to go into making all of these seed pods. This will cause your leaves to turn very bitter. But I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Once a plant bolts, it's going to produce these beautiful, small, tiny clusters of yellow flowers. Pollinators love those flowers, and I find their color to be very cheerful. It's a great addition to your garden, as it's going to attract your pollinators into your garden space to pollinate plants that require pollination in order to fruit. Once those flowers are pollinated, they're going to make seed pods such as this. These seed pods are immature because they're still green. You're going to want to wait and leave your seed pods on your plant until they go completely brown. You can also check to make sure that the seeds are fully mature by splitting a pod open. If the seeds are brown themselves or even a slightly reddish color, then they're probably ready to go. If not, they will be a green, a light green, or white. Those are immature seeds and they will not germinate properly. You can harvest the entire stem, as I have here, once they've turned brown, or you can go through and manually pick out each seed pod. You might notice that the seed pods mature at the base of the stem before finally maturing at the top. So those are your two options of collecting the seed pods. Once your seed pod is collected, you're going to want to split the seed pod. And you can see it's filled with those tiny little mustard seeds. These seeds can be saved for next season, or you can actually make mustard with them. To make mustard, you can either grind the dry seeds or you can let them soak overnight and then blend them with the rest of your ingredients. You're gonna add water and vinegar and what other spices you want to add to your mustard. Remember, just because there's different types of mustard, there are different types of mustard seed. So you want to make sure that you grow the variety of mustard for the type of seeds you want to use in your mustard, if that's your intent. To separate the seeds from the pods, you can simply just rub the pods in between your fingers. The seeds will pop out and the pods can be easily discarded. The pods, you'll find, are a very lightweight material, so they can be picked out or they can be moved around the bowl so that the seeds separate themselves for you. I find storing your seeds in paper envelopes to be the best method. You can easily mark them of what variety you're growing and what date you collected them, and the paper will let your seeds breathe so they won't get moldy due to an excess of humidity. There's another thing you want to keep in mind when you plan on harvesting seeds from your plants of mustard greens, and that is you want to have all one variety planted together, because mustard greens are notorious of cross-pollination. Any other similar plant in that family will cross-pollinate with your mustard greens, giving you a different plant. This may be something desirable, but if you want to keep the same plant for each season, make sure your plants are just one type. Another thing to keep in mind when you are selecting the type of mustard greens you want to grow is that you want to select open pollinated type of seeds, as those will be true each year. If you choose a hybrid version, those seeds that you collect won't be true to the mother plant. So as you can see, saving seeds is a fun and economical way to garden. Not only will you have seeds for next season, but it will lessen any disappointment you get when you notice that your plants start to bolt. Also, it's going to make the bees and other pollinators happy, which is increasingly important for us, not only in our gardens, but in our world. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give us a like. Any questions or comments you have, leave them in the comments below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. So as you can see, saving seeds is a fun and economical way to economical way to garden. Oh, duh.